Join us on the line now is talkSPORT's England correspondent, Faye Carruthers. Faye, good evening and thank you very much for your time.
Evening, both of you.
Hey,
Hope you're
Faye.
well. Busy old day.
I hope you're all right, Faye.
What has your last 2.5, 3 hours been like, Faye?
Yeah.
Well, a little bit bonkers, to be honest, because it broke when I was actually presenting something online, so I couldn't really do very much about it. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be really busy, heading up to Wembley at the moment. We're being told we're going to be speaking with Mark Bullingham, the FA's CEO, but potentially, it could be Thomas Tuchel being unveiled in front of the media. We'll have to wait and see.
Indeed. Look, Faye, we know it's going to be divisive. We understand his nationality. For me personally, I couldn't care less about his nationality. I've always said get the best man for the job. I said last week that the manager available right now, Thomas Tuchel, I was my choice, the ones that are available, and it turns out they've jumped, and I'm delighted, Faye. I've got to tell you, I'm really happy with the choice.
Look, he's a brilliant coach, that's for sure, and he's entertaining when you speak to him from a media perspective. I've been lucky enough to interview him when he was Chelsea boss, and as you know, he's really engaging. But, we can also know that can turn if things aren't quite going according to plan, which we've seen previously as well. In terms of what the FA have done, their ambition can't be contested without a doubt. They said, when we heard from Lee Carsley over in Finland the other night, and he was speaking after the 3-1 win over Finland, he was talking about the fact that England deserve a world-class coach and somebody who's won trophies, and certainly Thomas Tuchel falls into that category without a shadow of a doubt. So, they'd also said, Mark Bullingham, during the Euros out in Germany, that they wouldn't ever discount potentially having a foreign coach again. Of course, the Lionesses manager, Sarina Wiegman, is Dutch herself, so it's not something that the FA are averse in doing. But, I've heard all the different arguments, and I agree with some who, suggest that really the pathway at St George's Park, which was the point of St George's Park to bring homegrown players through and homegrown coaches and managers as well, to then appoint a foreign coach, isn't the greatest look. But at the same time, I'd rather have a world-class coach that potentially wins us trophies with some quality coaches coming through the pathway in years to come.
Yeah, Faye. So, listen, I know you was quite close with Gareth, and he was like, you've seen him under pressure, and he stayed strong. And do you think, how do you think, because it's a different kind of pressure to be an England manager, how do you think when the chips are down, how is Tuchel going to handle that pressure? Do you know that side of him?
I think he'll handle the pressure really well. It's slightly different, I think. Gareth Southgate is English, so the pressure of being England manager on top of that, is different. Thomas Tuchel is coming in and he's going to be viewing it very differently. He's going to be viewing it in terms of, his own CV, wanting success, wanting to win the biggest trophies in international management. At the moment, if 18 months is what we're hearing from January, so that takes him to the end of the World Cup in Canada, Mexico and the USA. And if he can win the World Cup and put that on his CV, along with the trophies he's already got, that's, enormous personal kudos for him as well. He's quite an Anglophile. Jason will tell you this. He fell in love with England when he came over here and managed Chelsea, and the Chelsea fans fell in love with him, as you can hear, Jason. You speak so highly of him. He loves it here. He spends time here even now. So, it's a job that he has been interested in, and I think he'll do it to the best of his ability. And we have someone who is a proven winner, which is what many England fans have been calling out for.
Yeah. Also, listen, I'm not sure that the FA has got that much faith, because they only gave him 18 months. 18 months to get to know the players. There's not a lot of games in that 18 months to actually solidify himself as a proper coach and manager. Why didn't he get 36 months?
Well, probably because, a longer contract hinges on whether or not he's going to win the World Cup.
But why don't they go for it? Just like say, this is our man and we're sticking by him. It just gives a little bit of stability, no?
Yes, I agree with that. But equally, if you look at Thomas Tuchel's CV, he doesn't tend to stay at many clubs for for longer than 18 months to 2 years. One season he was at Chelsea and brought them success. So, maybe his style is to come in, shake things up and then walk away with success, having brought it to England. But I actually think it's sensible from the FA's point of view, additionally, because it might not work. And they have to look after themselves with that at the same time. They've talked about having a long-term succession plan. They talked about that, leading into the Euros in Germany in the summer, which is sensible.
Yeah.
And so he will have been on that long list without a shadow of a doubt. And so, perhaps the conversations have been had behind the scenes. He is available. Maybe he doesn't want to confirm, he's not been in international management. It's very different. It's a different way of life to what he's used to in terms of club management. So maybe he's not entirely convinced either. No. So, they're waiting up until the World Cup, see what happens, see what he can do, see if he can change things for England and go that step further that we all want.
As long as both parties are happy with the contract, I'm happy with the contract. You're absolutely right, Faye. He might not have wanted to go more than 18 months. Who knows? But Faye, appreciate your time. You're going to be a busy girl tomorrow. Look forward to hearing all your reports. You take care.
Cheers,
Take
Faye.
care, both of you. See you later.
Cheers, Faye. Faye Carruthers there, England's talkSPORT correspondent. She is going to be all over talkSPORT tomorrow. Make sure you tune into all the shows to hear that press conference. That's going to be 1:30 tomorrow. We are anticipating that it's going to be the announcement of the appointment of Thomas Tuchel as the next England manager. Let's go and speak to Alex, who's a gooner. All right, Al?
Alex, how are you doing, mate?
All right, Al?
Al?
Alex? Yeah. Hello.
First time caller?
First time caller, that's right, yeah.
Love it, mate. Welcome.
Hi, yeah, you covered a lot in your previous call and with Faye's report, so great place to start. Personally, I think it's a perfect time to be starting with a manager like Tuchel. We've still got a lot of time until the World Cup. I think he's got good pedigree. We allowed Southgate to change the culture around English football, and I think now we can put our faith in a manager that I think is going to play a style that complements our players and really, hopefully can build on Southgate's foundations and bring us some success.
Do you think he's going to be the right manager long term? Because I'm not looking at, because it's only 18 months, isn't it? And and I know a lot can happen in 18 months, but at the same time, sure. I'd rather a manager that, like, see how Gareth Southgate got his time, and we all knew that he had he had an 8-year or 10-year plan. I was thinking we've got to go again with something like that. Do you agree?
Well, I think this could be a manager that, obviously, depending on how the things play out, but we have to put that same faith that this could be a manager that complements England football currently and could be that manager that we have for some years to come.
Yeah, well, he knows. He obviously, as Faye made the point there, he loved living in England, loved managing Chelsea. And I know he fell out with the owners. It was a difficult time for the football club, and clearly things didn't work for. But what he'd done at Chelsea in that short space of time showed me that the boy knows how to win, knows how to get the cup finals, and knows how to get things done. But what do you think? Does it matter to use German? Doesn't bother me one little bit. The best man for the job, I hear people say, right here, right now. The manager's available. He is the best man for the job. Thomas Tuchel will be, we believe, appointed tomorrow at 1:30, England manager. You'll be hearing it live here on talkSPORT.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.